So here's example 5 on the 3.5 notes. Here we're going to graph y equals 3 cube root of x plus 4 minus 1. The first thing we need to do is find the parent function of this. So here, remember, we keep our a value, which in this case will be 3, and then we write the cube root, because that's what we have as our function, of x. Our next thing is we have to find 5 points of our parent function and plot those points. So this is our parent function here. Now, when we do this, we want to make sure we pick points that work out. Meaning that because we have a cube root, right, we want to pick perfect cubes. So 0 is a good point. We also want to use 1 and a positive 8. And remember, because this is an odd root, we can also use negative values. So now from here, we plug these into our parent function. So we plug 0 into here, we should get 0. And we plug 1 into here, we take the cube root of 1, which gives us 1. So do 3 times 1 to give us a positive 3. Now we plug negative 1 into here, the cube root of negative 1 is just negative 1. So we multiply and we should get negative 3. Now we plug 8 into the cube root, that should give us 2 times 3 to give us 6. And then we plug negative 8 into here, we should get negative 2 times 3 to give us negative 6. Now what we do is we plug these values into our function. And as you can see, I connected it with our line. So now what we need to do is figure out, well, what are the transformations, basically the vertical and horizontal, in which we can move the points. Now here we have x plus 4. This really indicates, remember, that we're actually going to go to the left 4. So we're going to shift our points left 4. And then since we have minus 1, that means we're going to go down 1 as well. So what I just graphed here in blue was the parent function. Now what I'm going to graph in red is our original function that we needed to graph. So I'm going to go for my origin. I move left 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down 1. And now I do that for each point I have. So I go over left, 1, 2, 3, 4, down 1. This one you might go out of the graph a little bit. That's okay. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and down 1. Up here we go 1, 2, 3, 4, down 1, and the last one 1, 2, 3, 4, down 1. So the one I have here, this is now my final function. Now what I need to do is find the domain and range of our red function, or the final function. Now if you look here, my x values, I hit all of the negatives and all of the positives. Because of that, I get negative infinity to positive infinity. And then range, I do the same thing. I hit all of the negatives and positive y values. So that's also negative infinity to positive infinity. So here's my domain and range of my final function. Now for the last example, I'm going to have that on a separate video, so make sure you watch that so you can do some of the rest of your homework.